feel too long since we did this the last time. How do you assess that day on a personal level?
Yeah, I guess it's probably still sinking in a way. I think when we turned up this morning, we knew we had a big job to do, and I guess just happy to have played my part in a way to us wrapping it up today.
How did you get into a rhythm like that you were able to just sustain that such an intense period?
I think it comes down to the winter period and I guess the work you do away from, I guess, the ground in terms of your strength and conditioning stuff. That gives you the ability to keep coming back, and I guess mentality-wise, it's not too hard to get yourself up for it when you got a baggy black on your on your head, and and you've got the guys around you. It's certainly pretty easy to to motivate yourself to keep coming back and in different spells. And I guess with the class of guys around you, it makes your job a little bit easier. You can just focus in, on one thing. It was certainly a little bit easier.
Are you a guy that's driven by stats at all, or aware of your kind of stats guru page?
No, not really. Stats isn't probably a big thing for me. I'm just happy to be in the group, and I guess the most important thing for me is to try and help win games. And if that stat is good, that we're winning games, then I guess then I'm happy. But I mean, in terms of batting and bowling numbers, not a huge amount.
You talked about your winter just before. Was there anything in particular that you were working on to have such success this summer?
I think it's a range of things. I think it's not often you have 6 months where you can, I guess, dedicate yourself to the game, and there's some strength and conditioning stuff, which I guess was really helpful. The in-swinger kind of was a bit of a project in the winter as well, so that's sort of come in handy a couple of times. But yeah, it's just a generic thing. I think when you get such a big block of time to better work on your batting and your bowling and your strength and conditioning and all that sort of stuff, it sort of it sort of comes out, I guess, in ways like this.
How much more do you think you've got to improve on in terms of skill set?
I still think there's quite a bit. I still feel like I'm a long way off the cricketer that I want to be. I think I'm 12 months into my international career, and I think it's a long process, and hopefully I've got another 9-10 years, I guess, in this group. And if that happens, I think there could be I guess a wee bit more to come.
You touched on the in-swinger before. Are there any other specific areas that you want to focus on in the coming winter?
I think there's always things you're trying to work on. I think it's nice to be able to move the ball both ways, but yet we'll find in different conditions that won't necessarily always I guess be helpful. There's in terms of different deliveries, in terms of different formats, we go to white ball cricket and there's different variations there, and I think there's nothing specific, but I think you're always looking to try and improve your game, and those things kind of pop up from time to time. It's hard to sort of plan out what will be needed in 2 years' time, or in 5 years' time, or in 10 years' time. So I think if you've got the mindset of trying to learn and get better, then hopefully those things will sort of take care of themselves.
Only Dan Fattori and Sir Richard Hagley have better figures than you now. What does it feel like to be in such elite company?
It's kind of weird when you say it. It's those two guys have they're legends of New Zealand cricket, and I just played my 6th test, so I guess it's nice to be in and around those names. But for me, I'm just happy to be a part of this group, and I guess to help in some small way, to us winning games. And we set out this summer with a goal of winning 4 tests, and and then taking that I guess game by game, and I guess just happy to do that.
How do you feel about being part of the production line in New Zealand cricket now? Because you've been really probably an excellent example of that, someone being able to pull in who hits the ground running at the outstanding levels of performance. And what would be your reflection on that?
I think I've certainly had a lot of help from New Zealand cricket over the time. I think I went into the under-19 program pretty much out of high school, so I had about a year and a half there, and then went to training squads and that sort of stuff along. Probably did about 4 or 5 years of that. So I think the time and effort that they've put into my game has certainly helped me where I am now. I think without that, I definitely am not sitting here, I guess, having experienced the things I have. And I think their high performance structure is probably one of the better in the world, with not the same sort of, I guess, money and resources that other countries have. So I guess that's a huge credit to them and to the powers that be that have put, I guess, those plans and those structures in place.
Did you find it quite an inclusive environment that coming to the BLACKCAPS rather than exclusive, or how did you find that?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I sort of felt welcome from the time I walked off the plane in Melbourne that time. It's certainly a very inclusive group. They're willing to get around you, willing to help you learn. There was no, I didn't feel like I had to sit in a corner for months and I guess bide my time. It was certainly very inclusive. And I guess with the way, the high performance structure is, you do spend time with guys in different groups and different environments, A setups and winter squads and that sort of thing. And it certainly made it a lot more seamless.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. JB will be over with